Well, now that you've seen some of the mass crop, I'm going to hang some stands with you all today, and it's the October 13th, Friday the 13th. Hope I don't fall off a tree, break your neck or something like that. But regardless of that, you've seen the natural mass crop and some of the natural foods. And some of you have already shot some pretty nice bucks early season, got them in a summer pattern. My congratulations go out to you. I know one young lady up in Des Moines shot a real tremendous deer, and I really, it don't get any better than that. She did it all on her own, and so my hat's off to her. And is a good friend of my, Irv Wagner, my good friend's daughter, Christy, harvested a real nice deer. I know, picked it up on the 10th of October. So there are some deer that have been harvested already, and that's good. I'm a late starter, and I hunt the November rut hard, so I work in October. That's another thing. Do not put hunting in front of your job. Some guys are going bonkers, and no, you're making a living. What you're doing, you're not making a living bow and arrow hunting or gun hunting with it, for deer. Depends on what state you're in. So just chill out, calm down. It's a recreation that you're doing. It's not a job. So the more stress you put on yourself, the less how I want to say it, more miserable you will be. Let's put it that way. So just chill out, hunt when you can, and work when you must. And the gods up above will take care of the rest. So, well, here's what we got right here. We got this huge bean field, unpicked, and we're going to gravitate down here to where we're putting a stand up. It's probably a good 150 yards away from this field, and I'll show you why. In my opinion, this is one of the best days to be scouting. We got 100% rain in the forecast. It should be raining here tonight or this afternoon. 100% sure tomorrow, maybe 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. So regardless of what all the so-called experts want to rationalize and believe in, I don't buy into that, because whatever scent I leave today, nature will wash it out on it, and by the time I hunt this stand, it'll be completely clean. So I'll try to put a new stand up prior to a rainfall, or even in the rain. As we venture down here, we're probably right now 40 yards from that bean field. And there's a crossing down here, and this is what's nice when it does rain. You can see in the dirt there the multitude of deer tracks that are using this crossing. So we'll go ahead and cross it. Now as we venture down this trail, there's a clover plot in the background. But I'm not hunting over that clover plot because I don't want to spook the deer that would be on it. So what I've got is a tree stand, a ladder stand, that I've got stood up against that, and I'm going to finish cleaning it out. There's the ladder stand. You notice I try to get a tree with a lot of structure to it. Big limbs, stuff like that. That breaks up your silhouette quite effectively. Now here is another deer trail. And as I go up this deer trail, I'm going to show you where it's going to take you. It goes out to a huge agriculture, and when I say huge, I'm not exaggerating that, a huge alfalfa field. So right now, with the big bean field and the alfalfa field. There again, you can see the hickory nuts. The natural, here's the acorn, the white oak right there. Big white oak tree right there. I used to have my stand in that white oak, but this trail become prevalent right behind it, so I decided to move it over. But you can see the acorns. So you've got a tremendous amount of food in this given area that will help draw deer and possibly some deer movement while you're on stand. Like I said, you have a clover field down yonder. You have the bean field up yonder, and just to the northeast of us we have the large alfalfa field. And right there will be our late day, definitely evening stand. You will not be able to get in the stand in the morning, and you'll be able to get in it. You'll be able to hunt it with a west wind, a north wind, a northwest wind, and you could push the cushion if you wanted to go on a southwest wind, but you might get busted on this trail to the left. But definitely an evening stand though. What makes it an evening stand is those fields I showed you. The deer will be a good chance in there in the morning. Now, if you want to go in there, say 9 o'clock in the morning, that would be a good time. The reason I say that, there's a lot of deer movement. Once they get rutting up, they lay down for a while, they get off the fields, and you could get in that stand, and I've seen them walk right across those fields in broad daylight. So, but early morning, it would, with the access that I have, it would be negative to try to get in there in the morning. Some tools that come in handy are these pole saws. I want to do some trimming. And I learned a long time ago, if you think it's in the way, take it out. I missed a buck 20 years ago because of that. I knew it was in the way, and the morning the deer showed up, yep, it was in the way. So if I have any instinct that something's in my way, it gets cut out. That pole saw, a good hand saw, really come in handy. Like I said, I'm not at all afraid of leaving human scent. People that sell scent for a living are going to beat that drum loud and clear for the main purpose, to enhance their bottom line. But Mother Nature's my my companion. I know when to be in the woods. I can do this trimming, get it done properly, and with the foliage falling off, deer aren't even going to know the difference in daylight value, because pretty soon it's going to be stripped naked. So we'll get to cutting the stuff off. Okay, we'll go back in there and clear a few tree limbs off, and hopefully, we'll open up a shooting line. Well, now that we've got some limbs cut out, and just keep in mind, I know the situation here. I know it's going to have rain, so any human scent that I've left is going to be washed away, and I probably won't be in here hunting. Maybe a trespasser or something will probably beat me to it, but What I'm getting at, I don't worry about scent because it's not going to be here. It's not going to be here tomorrow or the next year. So the deer are going to travel up and down here, and I'll show you what they're doing. There's a clover field, and I'm not hunting directly on the clover field because if you do, you can't get in and out of it. If the deer are there at nighttime, you're screwed. So you want to set back in the timber, and we're on this travel corridor. You can see the old turkey blind I still have up there. Turkeys like to walk down through there. But in the rut, the bucks will use these because they're in a hurry and they want to cover as much ground as they can. Now here's the trail that we're actually hunting. And it comes right out of there, right up through here. So as you can see now, with the structured tree, we get up in there and you basically, it's really going to help break you up. Okay, that tree is 22 yards away. And I'm going to climb up there real quick. Now, being that it's Friday the 13th, I'm going to put my safety harness on and climb up in there and get tied off on that tree. And then you can judge for yourself. And keep in mind, it's 22 yards. I'll step it off so we'll know going to the tree. So I don't want to, I do not advocate long range shooting with archery equipment. That's not what I got into archery for. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18 yards. Now I'm going to take you up in a tree and I'm going to show you something that you want to take into consideration. Yeah, some people have asked me would I prefer hang-ons or ladder stands. As the older I've got, ladder stands I used to shun. I couldn't believe hunting out of something like that, but now that I know they work, they're pretty simple, pretty safe, and pretty damn easy to put up, especially by yourself. So, if I have my druthers, I just about go, depends on the tree, but most of the time I'll go with the ladder stand. Now here's an important subject for your comfort. That's the sun, as you all will know, but it's at my back in this stand, and it'll be at my back all day. So if you elected to get in here, like I said, 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, you would not have the sun glaring in your face. So it would be an all-day stand. You could post up here, and you're going to be hunting right there where the tripod is. Now, here's where a lot of people run into trouble. They set the stand up, and if you didn't clear enough shooting lanes, and say that deer was coming from the north, you would have to shoot it quartering towards you. That's why it's essential to clear out shooting lanes on down through here. As you can see, I have numerous lanes, so if that deer did come from the north, because you never know what's going to happen in the rut, I could shoot it quartering away right there, or possibly broadside right there. Now if it's coming from the south, it's no problem. But I've had that happen to me, and that's why experience is the best education and the best teacher. I set stands up like that and I thought I had a perfect shot, and the deer came straight toward the stand and you couldn't shoot it. Well, ethically you couldn't shoot it, but I don't know today whether ethics mean a whole lot to a few out there in the field, but they still mean something to me. So anyhow, make sure you leave opportunities to shoot left and right. And here's the other deal. Right in that area, just on the right of that big tree and on the left of the little tree, is that main trail. Now that trail is 22 steps to this tree. So I could shoot it straight there. And like I say, I'm basically sitting on an inside corner of a trail, again a crossing. And you can't hardly go wrong on that. Lots of activity can go on. And this would be an all-day stand. And like I said, it's a huge agriculture alfalfa field out there. And you never know what can come across that in the middle of the day, because we're out in the middle of nowhere. And so it's just time spent in the woods. And like I say, I'm doing this knowing rain's coming in. And so any scent that I do leave, I'm not going to worry about it, because it's going to be basically cleaned out. The leaves are turning brown, so the foliage that I've put on the ground, it's not an issue either. It may be if you was antelope hunting, but that stuff down there will turn brown just like the rest of the woods. So that's it from this tree stand position. We'll videotape the action that we have out of it at a later date. Hey, while I'm on this topic, the wives are always asking, what can I get my hubby for Christmas or whatever, birthday? Well, get him a nice saw like this. It really comes in handy. You can just reach up real quick, put the limb on there, give it a yank, the tree limb's gone. It's not an issue. It also has the saw blade on it, and it'll extend out as you take the wheel or the knob. It'll go way out there. You can get him that, or a nice pruning saw of this nature. These are really good pruning saws. You can do numerous things with them, plus you can clear shooting lanes and undesirable trees in your stand. Just a few tips from the non-typical on upcoming Christmas, possibly birthday presents, that your hunter in the field will highly appreciate it. And get good quality. The worst thing you can do is get junk. So if you got to spend a little more on the front end, at least when he's out there using it, it'll withstand the rigors of labor. Well, here again is another setup, and I'll climb up in the tree and show you some unique things about it when I get up in the tree. We'll take a, notice multiple trees, ladder stand broke up pretty good, and we're no more than 20 yards from the trail. We're going to walk over and climb up in that tree, and I'll step it off. And I'll be quite loud, so possibly you can hear it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 yards. Now, here's a scrape that's just opened up this year, and they're rubbing their antlers on it. And they turn around here. You can see back there in the background, that'd be about, if it was 17, it's about 30 yards away from that scrape. This area down here is pretty overgrown. I mowed a trail through it years ago, and the deer, as you can see, have gravitated up through it. So that's something if you can do in the wintertime or early spring. Bus trails, it sure will help. I know if you're on public ground, you can't do that, but if you have access to someone's woods and they allow it, and look what we got right up here. This is what's cool about this time of scouting. There is another scrape that's just opened up, and you can see the fresh deer track in it, and the scrape has got the overhanging branch, and that's why I don't like to hunt early October. This stuff is only going to get better. I like to hunt sign, I like to scout, I like to spend time in the woods, and as you can see now, the sky is completely overcast. Perfect time to be doing this scouting. And my stand is probably 50 yards from that scrape on this main deer trail. And I want to show you another unique thing about this situation. We're up in the tree stand, a mere 15 feet high. You can see it's almost a cross or a T. And we'll be hunting this stand on a west-northwest wind. The wind will be coming into our face, and we'll just sit back here and watch the action. Now, another unique thing about this, as the deer come down that trail back there in the background, the creek has forced them over there. That's using geographical landmarks or structure to channel the deer. The creek bends out, so it's going to push those deer are going to come down that fence line and stay on that trail. They're not going to jump down in that creek. Well, I mean, they could if they were chased or something, but if they're leisurely coming, that creek is going to be structure that we're going to use in our benefit to keep the deer on that trail. And once again, if the deer was coming towards you this way, the deer would be quartering towards you. So you're going to have to let it go by and shoot it where that old snag, and I might pull that snag down, being it's busted off, but then you can shoot it right there, going away, or broadside. If it was coming this way, and from this direction, you would not have a shot. So keep that in mind. Just because you set the tree up, it might be only one directional tree. Now, granted, a lot of people shoot that shot, but you're taking a high risk entry and a gut shot exit for certain. And so you want to be able to move with the deer in the direction that it's coming. And that, like I say, just up the ways there, just up there on the other side, see where that leaning tree is? Just about 10 yards up there is that other scrape. So we're in the proximity of two scrapes. And once again, inside corner, trail's running right in front of us. If we have to make that shot, it'll be about 5 yards. Well, I hope you've learned some things. I'll get more aggressive in the big timber maybe later on today, or I might wrap this video up. As you can see, it's getting overcast. I can feel the rain basically. It's just should be here any minute. That's going to help wash out all the human scent. I won't need no scent eliminator, or I sure won't need no electronic gadgetry. I mean, if we keep going that way, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to become a boy in a bubble and float out to your tree stand on a drone. And I don't know. But that's each their own. I know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to teach young people or beginners, no matter age, a few tips. Whether, you know, I've killed deer in these situations, so I can talk the talk, walk the walk. So I think I'll call that a wrap on Friday the 13th. I haven't fell out of a tree stand, and I hope you've gained some from different natural forage, from the white oaks to the red oaks to the hazelnuts to the bean pods, Osage orange, hedge apples. All that stuff is natural food. And if you've got that on your property, that's great. If you have apple trees, that's even, it's just another supplemental food. So, like I said, that's it. I hope this has helped some people. And that's the best I can do, because this is a no bullshit channel, and it's to help you, not to promote me in person or bottom line. It's all about one hunter giving back to another hunter. That's it. Friday the 13th. Well, this is Saturday morning. There's Osceola. I told you it was going to rain. You gotta know when to hold them, you gotta know when to fold them, you gotta know when to put the tree stands up. That red speaks for itself.